Today is the final sunset of 2025. As the clock ticks toward midnight, we aren't just transitioning into a new year. We are standing at the threshold of a new era of personal responsibility. The world around us is moving faster than ever, and if we do not intentionally design the architecture of our days, we will be swept away by the currents of distraction and digital noise. We have all been through the cycle of New Year's resolutions, that brief, flickering candle of motivation that burns bright in the first week of January and dies by the second. But 2026 demands more from us. It demands a habit-building plan that is not rooted in a temporary feeling, but in a permanent identity. The secret to mastering 2026 is not found in massive, sweeping changes that upend your life for a week and then disappear. It is found in the micro-change. In a world obsessed with the big break and the overnight success, the most radical thing you can do is commit to being 1% better every single day. We are often paralyzed by the gap between who we are and who we want to be. We look at the mountain and we feel small, so we don't even take the first step. But the mountain is conquered 1 inch at a time. The habit building plan for 2026 is about reclaiming your agency through the smallest possible actions. It is about the 2-minute rule. If a habit takes less than 2 minutes, start there. Don't try to run a marathon on January 1st. Try to put on your running shoes. Don't try to write a book. Try to write 1 sentence. When you lower the barrier to entry, you remove the power of procrastination. We must also recognize that we are the architects of our environment. In 2026, the battle for your attention will be fiercer than ever. Your phone, your notifications, and the endless stream of content are designed to keep you reactive. To build real habits, you must make the good ones obvious and the bad ones invisible. If you want to read more, place a book on your pillow every morning. If you want to eat healthier, hide the processed snacks and put a bowl of fresh fruit in the center of your kitchen. Your environment is a silent coach that either pushes you toward greatness or pulls you back into mediocrity. Stop relying on willpower. Willpower is a finite resource that runs out by 5:00 p.m. Systems, however, are infinite. Build a system where your environment does the heavy lifting for you. As we step into 2026, we must also embrace the concept of habit stacking. You already have dozens of automated routines: brushing your teeth, making coffee, checking your email. The most effective way to anchor a new habit is to tie it to an old one. After I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. After I close my laptop for the day, I will do 10 push-ups. By weaving new behaviors into the existing fabric of your life, you bypass the friction of starting something new. You aren't adding to your schedule, you are enhancing it. This is how you build a life that feels effortless because your excellence has become automatic. But let's be honest, there will be days when you fail. There will be days when the bed is too warm, the weather is too cold, or the stress of life feels too heavy. The difference between those who succeed in 2026 and those who stay stuck is how they respond to failure. In this new year, we adopt the never miss twice rule. Missing 1 day is an accident. Missing 2 is the start of a new habit, a bad one. If you fall off the wagon, get back on immediately. Don't wait for next Monday. Don't wait for next month. The clock resets every time you breathe. Your potential is not defined by your mistakes. It is defined by your resilience. The theme of 2026 is sustainability. We are moving away from the era of hustle culture that leads to burnout and toward an era of consistent compound growth. Think about the long-term trajectory of your life. If you improve by just 1% every day, you will be 37 times better by the end of the year. That is the power of the compound effect. It is the 8th wonder of the world. You don't need to be extraordinary today, you just need to be consistent. Consistency is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. In 2026, let your why be stronger than your excuse. Let your vision of the future version of yourself be so clear and so compelling that it pulls you through the moments of resistance. Your habits are the votes you cast for the person you want to become. Every time you choose the salad over the fries, you are voting for a healthy identity. Every time you choose the book over the scroll, you are voting for a wise identity. Every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you are voting for a disciplined identity. By the time we reach December 2026, you won't just have achieved your goals, you will have transformed your soul. You will be a person who follows through. You will be a person who honors their word. This is the year you stop waiting for a miracle and start being one. The plan is simple: start small, design your space, stack your habits, and never miss twice. 2026 is waiting for the version of you that refuses to stay the same. Let's get to work. To truly master your habits in 2026, we must look deeper than the surface of our actions and examine the psychological machinery that drives us. Most people fail because they focus on the outcome, the number on the scale, the balance in the bank account, or the title on the business card. But outcomes are lagging measures of your habits. Your net worth is a lagging measure of your financial habits. Your weight is a lagging measure of your eating habits. Your knowledge is a lagging measure of your learning habits. In 2026, we are shifting our focus from what we want to achieve to who we wish to become. This is identity-based habit building. Instead of saying, I am trying to run, you say, I am a runner. Instead of saying, I am trying to quit smoking, you say, I am not a smoker. When your behavior and your identity are fully aligned, you are no longer fighting against yourself. You are simply acting in accordance with who you believe you are. This internal shift is the most powerful weapon in your arsenal for the coming year. As we navigate through 2026, we must also confront the myth of the perfect time. We often tell ourselves that we will start when the kids are back in school, when the project at work is finished, or when the weather clears up. But the perfect time is a phantom. It does not exist. Life is messy, unpredictable, and often chaotic. If you can only maintain your habits when everything is going right, you haven't actually built a habit, you've built a fair weather hobby. The habit building plan for 2026 requires you to reduce the scope, but keep the schedule. On the days when life hits you hard and you can't do your full 40-minute workout, do 5 minutes. If you can't write 1,000 words, write a paragraph. By showing up even in a diminished capacity, you are reinforcing the habit of showing up. You are keeping the neurological pathway alive. You are proving to yourself that your commitment is stronger than your circumstances. This is how you build an unbreakable spirit. We must also talk about the role of social contagion in our 2026 transformation. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And in the digital age, this includes the people you follow online. Habits are not formed in a vacuum. They are influenced by the tribes we belong to. If you want to build better habits, join a tribe where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. If you surround yourself with people who prioritize health, movement, and growth, you will find that your willpower is rarely tested because you are simply following the social norms of your circle. Conversely, if your social circle rewards distraction and complains about progress, you will find yourself constantly swimming against the current. In 2026, audit your circle, curate your feed. Be intentional about who you allow into the sanctuary of your mind. Your growth is too precious to be stunted by the shadows of those who refuse to climb. Furthermore, we must address the dopamine trap that 2026 presents. We live in an era of instant gratification, where every craving can be satisfied with a click or a swipe. This constant bombardment of cheap dopamine makes the slow, rewarding work of habit building feel dull by comparison. To combat this, we must learn to fall in love with the process, not just the result. There is a profound joy in the boring work. There is a sacredness in the early morning silence, the burn in the muscles, and the focus on a difficult task. We must practice delayed gratification as a skill. Every time you resist the urge to check your phone and instead stay focused on your work, you are strengthening your prefrontal cortex. You are literally rewiring your brain for success. Treat your attention like the currency it is. Stop spending it on things that leave you bankrupt. Invest it in habits that pay dividends for years to come. In 2026, we also need to embrace the power of strategic rest. Many people think that building habits means going at full throttle 365 days a year. That is a recipe for a crash. A sustainable habit building plan recognizes that recovery is part of the work. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Make sleep a non-negotiable habit. Make silence a daily ritual. In a world that screams for your input, the ability to sit quietly and reflect is a superpower. Use 2026 to reconnect with your internal compass. Ask yourself, is this habit serving the person I am becoming, or is it just something I think I should do? Authenticity is the fuel of longevity. When your habits are rooted in your own values rather than societal pressure, they become much easier to maintain. You aren't doing it for the applause, you're doing it for the alignment. Let us also consider the plateau of latent potential. When you start a new habit in 2026, you will likely see very little progress in the beginning. You will work hard, you will stay disciplined, and the needle won't seem to move. This is the valley of disappointment. Most people quit here because they think their efforts are being wasted. But your efforts are not wasted, they are being stored. Think of an ice cube sitting in a room that is 25 degrees. You heat the room up degree by degree. 26, 27, 28. Gasoline happens. 31 degrees. Oh, nothing. Then you hit 32 degrees and the ice begins to melt. A 1-degree shift, seemingly no different from the others, unlocked the breakthrough. Your habits work exactly the same way. All the work you do in January, February, and March is building the foundation for the explosion of results you will see in the summer. Don't stop when you're in the valley. The breakthrough is closer than you think. Finally, as we close this second chapter of our 2026 vision, remember that your life is a series of moments. You don't build a life, you build a day, and then you repeat it. The all or nothing mentality is the enemy of the always something reality. In 2026, we are choosing the always something path. We are choosing progress over perfection. We are choosing the long game over the quick fix. You have the power to redefine your trajectory starting right now. It doesn't matter what happened in 2025. It doesn't matter how many times you failed in the past. Today is a clean slate. The person you were is not the person you have to be. You are a work in progress, and you are the artist holding the brush. Quote a masterpiece. As we enter the final stretch of this blueprint for 2026, we must look beyond the immediate future and consider the concept of legacy. Habits are not just about self-improvement, they're about the ripple effect you create in the world. When you elevate your standards, you unconsciously give everyone around you permission to do the same. Your children are watching how you handle your mornings. Your colleagues are watching how you handle your commitments. Your friends are watching how you handle your health. In 2026, your habits become your testimony. You are teaching the world what is possible for a human being who decides to take control of their own narrative. This year is about moving from the me to the we. How can your newfound discipline serve your community? How can your increased energy contribute to your family? How can your sharpened mind solve problems for others? True motivation is found when your personal growth is tied to a purpose larger than yourself. In 2026, we must also master the art of habit evolution. A common mistake is to outgrow a habit but continue doing it out of a sense of obligation. If a routine that served you in January is no longer challenging you by June, it is time to level up. Growth happens at the edge of your comfort zone. If you have mastered the habit of walking for 20 minutes, start jogging. If you have mastered the habit of reading 10 pages, start writing 2. If you have mastered the habit of saving $100, start learning how to invest it. A habit-building plan is a living, breathing document. It must be reviewed, refined, and reinvented. Don't be afraid to kill off habits that have served their purpose to make room for the new version of you. The 2026 version of you should be unrecognizable to the 2025 version of you, not because you changed your personality, but because you upgraded your operating system. We must also talk about the shadow habits, the things we do without thinking that drain our potential. We all have them. The mindless scrolling when we're bored, the negative self-talk when we're stressed, the tendency to say yes to things that don't align with our goals. In 2026, we are bringing these shadows into the light. Awareness is the first step toward transformation. You cannot change what you do not notice. For 1 week this year, I want you to track every single thing you do. Note the triggers that lead to your bad habits. Is it hunger? Is it fatigue? Is it a certain person? Once you identify the cue, you can change the response. This is the year of awareness. By shining a light on your shadows, you take away their power. You move from being a passenger in your own life to being the driver. As the months of 2026 roll on, you will encounter the mid-year slump. This is the period when the novelty of the new year has completely worn off, and the end of the year feels too far away to matter. This is where champions are made. Anyone can work hard when they are inspired, but only the elite can work hard when they are bored. Boredom is the ultimate test of your commitment. When the gym feels repetitive, when the healthy meals feel bland, when the work feels like a grind, remind yourself that this is the price of admission for greatness. You are paying your dues. The results you want are on the other side of the tasks you don't want to do. In 2026, we are developing a blue-collar work ethic toward our habits. We show up, we do the job, and we don't ask for a trophy just for participating. The trophy is the life you get to live because you did the work. Let's talk about the power of celebration. We are often so hard on ourselves that we forget to acknowledge how far we've come. In 2026, I want you to celebrate the small wins. If you hit your habit streak for 7 days, acknowledge it. If you chose a glass of water over a soda, count that as a victory. Celebration releases dopamine, which tells your brain, this felt good, let's do it again. By celebrating your progress, you are literally training your brain to crave the good habits. Don't wait until you reach the finish line to be proud of yourself. Be proud of every step you take in the right direction. Self-criticism may get you started, but only self-compassion will keep you going. Be your own loudest cheerleader in 2026. As we reach the conclusion of this journey, I want you to imagine yourself 1 year from today. It is December 34th, 2026. You are looking back at the year that has just passed. What will you see? Will you see a year of could have, should have, and would have? Or will you see a year where you finally drew a line in the sand? Will you see a year where you stopped making excuses and started making progress? The 365 days of 2026 are going to pass regardless of what you do. Time is the most democratic resource we have. We all get the same 24 hours every day. The only difference is what we choose to do with them. You have the power to make 2026 the most pivotal year of your life. It starts with a single choice. It starts with the next 5 minutes. It starts with the very next thing you do after you finish listening to these words. This is your life. This is your time. This is your 2026. Do not let it slip through your fingers like sand. Grip it with both hands. Build a foundation of habits that is so strong that no storm can shake you. You were not born to be average. You were not born to just survive. You were born to thrive. You were born to create. You were born to lead. The habit building plan is not a cage. It is the key that unlocks your freedom. Freedom from your past, freedom from your insecurities, and freedom to become the hero of your own story. The world is waiting for you to show up. Not the tired, distracted version of you, but the disciplined, focused, and energized version of you. 2026 is the year that everything changes. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Go out there and build the life you deserve. Your future self is cheering for you. Do not let them down. Stand up, step forward, and let the transformation begin. This is your year. This is your moment. Let's make it legendary.